Certainly. Here is the full story of Abram, later named Abraham, from the Bible. The story of Abraham. 1. Early life and call. Abram, later known as Abraham, is a key figure in the Bible, particularly in the book of Genesis. He was born in Ur of the Chaldeans, a region in ancient Mesopotamia. Abram's early life is not extensively detailed, but he is introduced as a member of a family that worshipped idols. Joshua 24:2. God called Abram to leave his homeland and his family and go to a land that he would show him. God promised to make Abram into a great nation and to bless him. In obedience, Abram departed with his wife, Sarai, later named Sarah, his nephew Lot, and their possessions. 2. Journey to Canaan. Abram journeyed to Canaan, the land that God promised to give his descendants. Upon arriving in Canaan, God appeared to Abram and reaffirmed his promise, saying that Abram's descendants would inherit the land. Genesis 12:7. 3. Famine and sojourn in Egypt. A famine struck the land of Canaan, prompting Abram and Sarai to go to Egypt for sustenance. Fearing that the Egyptians would kill him to take Sarai, Abram claimed that Sarai was his sister rather than his wife. Pharaoh took Sarai into his household, but when God afflicted Pharaoh and his house with plagues, Pharaoh discovered the truth and returned Sarai to Abram, sending them away with increased wealth. Genesis 12:10-20. 4. Separation from Lot. After returning to Canaan, Abram and Lot had so many possessions that their herdsmen quarreled. To prevent conflict, Abram allowed Lot to choose where he wanted to live. Lot chose the fertile plains of the Jordan, settling near Sodom. Abram remained in Canaan. God reaffirmed his promise to Abram, telling him that his descendants would be as numerous as the dust of the earth. Genesis 13:1-18. 5. Covenant with God. God made a covenant with Abram, promising that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky. Despite this promise, Abram and Sarai were childless. God instructed Abram to perform a covenant ceremony involving animal sacrifices, symbolizing the unbreakable nature of his promise. Genesis 15:1-21. 6. Name change and promise of a son. God changed Abram's name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations, and Sarai's name to Sarah. God promised that Sarah would bear a son, Isaac, despite her old age. Abraham was initially skeptical, but God assured him that nothing is too difficult for him. Genesis 17:1-22. 7. Destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. God revealed to Abraham his plan to destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah due to their wickedness. Abraham interceded for the cities, pleading with God to spare them if righteous people could be found. God agreed to spare the cities if 10 righteous individuals could be found, but ultimately, only Lot and his family were saved. The cities were destroyed by fire and brimstone. Genesis 18-19. 8. Birth of Isaac. Sarah gave birth to Isaac, fulfilling God's promise. Isaac's birth was a miraculous event, as Sarah was well past childbearing age. Abraham and Sarah rejoiced, and Isaac became the child of promise through whom God's covenant would continue. Genesis 21:1-7. 9. The binding of Isaac. God tested Abraham's faith by asking him to sacrifice Isaac on Mount Moriah. Abraham obeyed, preparing to offer Isaac as a burnt offering. At the last moment, an angel stopped him, and a ram was provided as a substitute offering. This event demonstrated Abraham's unwavering faith and obedience. Genesis 22:1-19. 10. Death and legacy. Sarah died at the age of 127. Abraham purchased a cave in Machpelah as a burial site for her. He later married Keturah, who bore him additional children, but Isaac remained the primary heir of the covenant. Abraham died at the age of 175 and was buried beside Sarah in the cave of Machpelah. His faith and obedience made him a revered figure in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Genesis 23-25. Abraham is considered the father of 3 major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, due to his pivotal role in the religious traditions that trace their roots back to him. His story is a powerful testament to faith, obedience, and the fulfillment of divine promises.
Please subscribe to our channel for more Bible studies and Word of God.